Hello everyone, I am Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all another Wi-Fi battle. My opponent for this battle is going to be Cipher, also known as CipherBlocka on YouTube. I actually found this fella in one of the Discord servers that I follow. He was asking for a Wi-Fi battle, and I was like, sure, I'll do Wi-Fi battles. He wanted an RU battle specifically, so I was like, okay, I'll do that. In fact, I felt like I needed to start getting into some more battles in the lower tiers, because I notice right now that I'm not really doing too high in lower tiers. Like, I don't really perform my best in lower tiers, and I feel the reason for that is mostly because I have little experience with a lot of the mons that are in those tiers. So I'm like, because when I battle people, I'm usually used to battling what I see in a lot of battles. In a lot of battles, and that's kind of what OU does. Whereas like most people say, in lower tiers, there's just a lot what they call variety. So I was like, okay, let's see how good I can do in these said lower tiers. Like I said, I have been underperforming quite a bit in the past, but we'll see how I fare in this battle here against good old Cipher. Now here I'm going to lead off with Lycanroc, and he's going to lead off with Jeff, which is the Galvantula. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go straight for the Accelerock, because I feel like this guy, the first thing he wants to do is set up the sticky webs, and he does. I wasn't really phased about this because most of my team isn't relatively fast anyways, and I feel like they can tank hits relatively well anyways, so I was like, okay, that's kind of fine. So here I'm just gonna go for a crunch because I predict a switch, and not to mention Lycanroc is naturally faster than Galvantula anyways, and I was confident that it was not Scarf, because if it were Scarf and he went for sticky web, I mean, he would have to switch out anyways, so I can predict the switch no matter what. Now here I hard switch into Roserade because he switched in Blastoise, and I was like, okay, hopefully he doesn't predict me and go for Ice Beam. He does not. He goes for Scald. And now he's forced to switch out. And I anticipated this. And he goes into Azula, which is the Salazzle. And I go for the Sleep Powder. And after the Sleep Powder, because it's faster, it now has to burn a Turn of Sleep. But after this Turn of Sleep, not Burn of Sleep, I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Ground, which thankfully I still had on this Roserade, because this Salazzle was like the biggest threat in this guy's entire team. So thank goodness my Roserade got to take that thing out, honestly. But now he brings this thing, which is also kind of scary, because this thing can set up curses in my face and I won't be able to do much about it. But thankfully my Roserade is able to land another Sleep Powder, preventing it to set up in my face. And now here's where I'm going to decide to hard switch into Honchkrow, because I feel like most Snorlaxes are like not Spadef invested, but they are especially bulky, like Spadef bulky, kind of, like naturally, like without the investment. So I figured let's send in Honchkrow, because even invested, I think the defense for Snorlax is still lower than its Spadef, so I was like, yeah, we're gonna go on the physically offensive side. But this thing does wake up after I go for a Brave Bird with Honchkrow, and he's actually gonna surprise me with the pulverizing pancake from the Snorlax using the Snolium Z, which I have not seen actually. I'm actually surprised that he actually brought it. But seeing how his name is Cipher kind of makes me feel like, yeah, it does sound like the kind of guy who would actually carry one of these, not unorthodox, but kind of, you know, like the cool looking sets. Because pulverizing pancake, not gonna lie, it actually looks pretty cool in my opinion. But yeah, it's gonna polarize my Honchkrow now, unfortunately, and this actually hurt me so badly that I actually decided to hard switch into Goodra right here, and this is where I am going to retaliate with a Devastating Drake, whatever, via Dragonium Z, as usual. I think you saw this in the last battle that I had with Mr. Talent. However, there is a difference. The Devastating Drake in this battle that I'm using it, is actually a physical one, because this Goodra is actually physical, but the last one that I used against Mr. Talon was actually a special one. So here I actually, I don't feel like I got to abuse much of the physical Goodra anyway, so I'm all like, whatever. I just wanted to retaliate with a Z move. I didn't care if he switched out into Umbreon, I just wanted to get some damage on something. I wanted to pulverize something myself. But anyways, I digress. As you can see, he's sending Flygon, the Goggle McGee, and he U-turned. I stayed in because I figured, you know what, I don't want this thing to set up in my face and go for Dragon Dance, because I know this thing now gets Dragon Dance. And he after the U-turn, he goes into Galvantula. I go for Outrage, take out the Galvantula. And now here he goes into Flygon once again, goes for the U-turn again, predicting me to probably want to switch out, but I don't, because I kind of, like I said, I was more afraid of the Dragon Dance from that Flygon than anything, honestly. And now here he's going to U-turn and go into Alpha Sparks, which is this Umbreon, which can be kind of annoying because, well, my team is kind of offensive. Some of my offensive potential kind of went away, like Honchkrow, for example. So here, I'm going to switch out Goodra, preserve it for a bit. I'm going to hard switch into Rotom here. And he's going to go for the Wish with Umbreon. And what I'm going to do here is actually go for Toxic, because getting Toxic on this Umbreon is actually really good, because it'll put this annoying wall on a timer. I wasn't phased about the Synchronize because I kind of wanted to get this thing Toxic more than anything. And not to mention Rotom has Pain Split and Volt Switch, so it can get HP back and then pivot and not have to worry about the Toxic racking up. But the role for most Umbreons is usually to just stay and sit there and take hits, and probably even Toxic Stall if it's carrying Toxic, so not what I wanted. So here I think I hard switch into Lycanroc. Why Lycanroc is actually, I don't even know honestly, but I do remember this Lycanroc just going for Stealth Rocks and then switching out for whatever reason. Why? Once again, I don't know. I guess I felt like I needed the rocks because there was a lot of switching in the middle of this battle. So I figure if I can get these rocks up right now, maybe I can punish a little bit more of the switching. But here he actually goes for Heal Bell, and I was like, oh. So this Toxic that I got with Rotom earlier was kind of in vain, because now this thing... Well, maybe it was not entirely in vain, because I kind of just forced him to reveal Heal Bell, and not to mention, this kind of gave me an idea that maybe if I can Toxic him again, I'd be able to force him to use Heal Bell again. So I hard switched into Rotom once again, and he actually switches up the move to Foul Play, which kind of makes me relieved that my Lycanroc didn't take it, because I don't want any damage on my Lycanroc just yet. Now here he's going to switch out into the Raindrop, which is the Blastoise, and I'm going to go for a Toxic because I kind of felt like there was nothing to lose going for Toxic again. Because he would just be forced to go for Heal Bell, and I'd be able to Volt Switch and then do something offensively, like switching in Roserade, for example. But here, like I said, I'm gonna go for the Toxic, landed on this Blastoise. Now here, I'm actually gonna risk it and go for Volt Switch, because I mean, I wanted to see if I get outsped by this Blastoise, and I do outspeed it. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a bulky Blastoise, so I don't have to worry too much. So I hard switch into Goodra, and I do anticipate a Rapid Spin or Scald. He does go for Rapid Spin, which was probably for me the best case scenario, basically, because I don't have to worry about getting my Goodra burned, because this is a physical Goodra after all. And it's going to take more Toxic damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't take it out, though. And surprisingly, now this Blastoise outspeeds my Goodra, which is kind of weird, because I think this Goodra has some speed investment. I'm not sure, though. Maybe I got the wrong set or something, but it outsped, and that actually threw me off for a bit. So it gets an Ice Beam off, does a lot of damage to Goodra, but I am able to take out this Blastoise with an Outrage, I believe. And here, I just, he's going to send in the Flygon and just finish off my Goodra with a U-turn. I think he got a crit with the Ice Beam, I think. No, he didn't. I think he didn't. I think he just got a lot of damage off and then was able to revenge KO me or something. But, yeah. Here, I send in Rotom after he goes for U-turn into Umbreon, and I just go for the Volt Switch, because I didn't think he'd want to switch in, what's it called, Flygon now. And I'm just going to go into Milotic. He's going to go for the Wish. And I think here what I'm going to do is actually go for the, oh yeah, the reason why I went to, into Milotic, by the way, here, was because I wanted to proc my Flame Orb, because remember that he still has that Flygon in the back of his team. And it can possibly be a Dragon Dance set, and I didn't want my Milotic to kind of go I didn't want to send it in against the Flygon without the Flame Orb proccing. So here I basically made the risky play of sending it in against the Umbreon, which could have Toxic Milotic before proccing the Flame Orb, but thankfully he just went for Wish. Now here I just went, he's going to hard switch into Flygon after going for a Foul Play, I think it was. And I'm just going to go for Toxic because, once again, I kind of felt like he might have switched out, and if he doesn't switch out, I can Toxic him, force him to use Heal Bell, and I can get a free Volt Switch and go into Roserade, because I kind of need to pressure him offensively, and I feel like Roserade's my last one that can kind of do that, because Lycanroc doesn't really have the best of moves to deal with Umbreon, so yeah. And now here I'm going to hard switch into Milotic, seeing if he actually wants to go for that Earthquake, and he doesn't. He just goes for another U-turn. I guess he anticipated that switch into Milotic, because he now knows that my Flame Orb is procced, and I can take hits now. but he's gonna go into Umbreon here on the U-turn. And I think here what I do is hard switching the Roserade, because again my Milotic can't really do anything to this Umbreon. I think the only thing this thing can do honestly is just PP stall this Umbreon, but honestly that's just gonna be a waste of time, and I'd rather not. I'd rather have fun and just go offensive. So here he's gonna go for the Heal Bell, which is actually good for me because now my Roserade doesn't have to worry about taking damage on switching, and now I can actually outspeed this thing and go for Sleep Powder, which thankfully doesn't miss because now here I can go for damage. Now here I did anticipate him to switch just because I kind of felt like he might have been hoping for me to go for Sludge Bomb to get as much damage on the Umbreon as possible, but because he had Flygon left and I know Flygon resists poison type moves, I kind of just decided to play it safe and go for Giga Drain, and yeah, it actually paid off for me here, because now I get a lot of damage with Flygon, so yeah. And now I get to hard switch in the Rotom and just basically sack it, because I figured now he actually just wants to go for the Outrage, because now he's being put in a huge pickle. And so he does go for Outrage, takes out my Rotom Heat, which I was sacking anyway, and now I get to go into my Milotic to finish this Flygon off before it gets anything going, basically. So seeing how he went for Outrage and not what's it called, Dragon Dance, kind of makes me wonder. Actually, it doesn't make me wonder, it actually makes me feel like this Flygon was probably Choice Scarfed. Just looking at the damage, because I think if it was Choice Band it would have done a little bit more to my Milotic, but it didn't, so I think it was Choice Scarf maybe. So yeah, and as you can see I managed to take it out right now with a Scald. And now here he's gonna send in his I can't talk, but he's gonna send in his last Pokemon, which is Umbreon, and I'm just gonna send out Roserade on a hard switch because Umbreon basically came in for free, and I had to basically switch out because Roserade needs to be offensive against this Umbreon to be able to take it out basically. And thankfully he didn't wake up when I switched in Roserade, and he didn't wake up here after I went for this Sludge Bomb, and which is actually really good because I felt like if he had woken up here he would have just been wish stalling me here, and I'd have to try to put it to sleep again to keep going for Sludge Bombs, and then the chances of it waking up earlier are, I think, increase or something. I don't know. Like from my experience, when I have to re-put a Pokemon to sleep, its chances of waking up seem to be much higher or something. At least that's from my experience, but I could just be unlucky or something. But yeah, I do get to land this second Sludge Bomb, and he just went for Foul Play because I guess he figured it's pointless to go for Wish since he doesn't have Protect on this Umbreon anyway. So he's just gonna go for Foul Play, and I just finished this thing off with a Sludge Bomb, and that's gonna be the whole game. So good game to Cipher. Thank you for the battle. That was actually a pretty cool battle. And also I actually watched his side of the battle, and it was actually pretty well done as well. I liked this commentary, and I liked it, how he gave me the thanks for the battle. There was no hard feelings basically. So yeah, he's a pretty cool fella. But yeah, thank you all for watching this battle, and hopefully you guys all look forward to more battles in the future. Feel free to leave your thoughts below in the comments if you guys want to, and I'll catch you guys later.